Hey guys! In this video, I'm going to show you the syntax for creating a public method in Java. So, as I said in the last video, there are public, private, and static methods. Public methods are supposed to be simpler, so we will learn about those first. For now, don't worry about what the word public means. Just use it as part of the syntax. So, all public methods, except for constructors and static methods, follow this syntax. The keyword public, followed by the return type, which we will talk about in a minute, followed by the method name. So, just like variables and objects, you can name the method whatever you'd like. But it's important to note that you cannot give a method the same name as the class, unless that method is a constructor. So the exception is that you can't name regular methods by the class name. Then, in the syntax, after the method name, you open parentheses, and in those parentheses, you write the parameters. Remember we talked about parameters in constructors, and parameters work pretty much the same way in other methods as they do in constructors. And then, after the parentheses, you open braces and write the body of the method. So now, let's talk about what return type means. Well, sometimes methods return a value when they are called. For example, let's say that in our dog class, I want to create a method that gives me the name of the dog. Remember that the name is one of the attributes of the dog that is initialized in the constructor. So basically, when I call this method in the dog class on a dog object, I should get the name of the dog. But what if I just wanted to get the name of the dog and store it in a separate variable, and I didn't want it to be printed out? Then, how would the method give me the name of the dog? This is where the return keyword comes in. The method can literally just say to return the name of the dog. And then, whenever I call this method on a dog object, I will get that dog object's name. The return keyword is self-explanatory, as it says it in the name that it basically just returns whatever value you tell it to. We will look at examples of using the return keyword in the next video. But back to the syntax. In the syntax, where it says return type, what would I put there? Well, there are options. So, first of all, a method doesn't always have to return a value. If the method is not returning any value, then you would write void. So it will look like this. However, if your method is returning a value, then you would write the kind of value that it is returning. For example, let's say that my method is returning a string value. Then I would write string in place of the return type. And my method header would look like this. Or if my method is returning a double value, then I would write double, and my header would then look like this. The same goes for int, boolean, float, and all other data types that would be returned. Now, moving on in the syntax, the parameters of a regular method allow us to collect data from the user when the method is called through the parameters, and then we use that data when we are implementing the method. But note that parameters are not necessary and are completely optional. A method can have one parameter, multiple parameters, or zero parameters. It's very flexible. And lastly, in the body of the method, we would write the code that we want the method to implement. In the next few videos, I will show you tutorials of using methods in the dog class, and that will help you gain a better overall understanding of how to use methods in classes.